Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to a new kind of series on the channel. As you know from watching my Japanese progress videos, I'm going to be going to Japan, and so I wanted to start making videos on the trip aspect instead of just on the language aspect. So I'm going to be shooting a video every now and again showing the procedure of basically getting all the stuff together, making the flight over there, and then, you know, living in Japan and all this stuff, and how I planned for the trip and a lot of stuff like that. So I thought the first video I'm going to be basically just showing you where I'm going in Japan and what exactly I'm going to be doing in Japan. Where I'm going is I'm going to Nagasaki, Japan, which is in western Japan at the Kyushu Island, on the giant Kyushu Island, which means 9 provinces if you didn't know that. I'm going to be staying there for 4 months. I leave near the end of March and I get back about the second week of August. So it's going to be the end of spring, end of spring to the middle of summer. It's going to be interesting because I'm going to be staying with a homestay, which is basically a Japanese family is going to be taking me in, and you know, they're going to cook. The part of the deal is they cook breakfast and dinner for you, and they basically take you in as one of their own. Of course, there are horror stories. There are people that, you know, try to manipulate the system and stuff like that because they get money for it. But I've talked to my Japanese family already, and they look like they're a really nice set of people. It's an older couple. One of them is in their 70s. The other one, I think, is in their early 70s. So they're both retired, and here's a picture of their house. They gave a map to find them. So as you can see, it looks like a pretty cool little place. It's up in the mountains a little bit of Nagasaki, which should be a really cool experience. And one of the funny things is I'm actually going to have to take, I think they said 3 to 4 buses to school. There's a bus stop right out front, and that takes you to like a central place, and the central place takes you to another place, and then from there you can get on the school line that'll take you to the university. I think it's going to be an awesome experience to commute like a regular Japanese student would. I think it'll be fun, and I can't wait for that aspect. While I'm over there, I'm going to be studying at a international university. It's renowned for basically cultivating language learning and international studies. A lot of it was founded after the nuclear bomb hit the area. The town was rebuilt, and a lot of things were actually refocused on peace studies. One of them being a gigantic international university to bring students from all over and to teach their citizens languages like French and Korean and English, and then teach other citizens Japanese, and also study foreign countries to learn about them. So I'm going to be studying a bunch of different courses. My main focus is going to be on Japanese. I'm hoping to get to level 3 by the time I get there. Check out my other videos to see my progress. I'm pretty much on track for that right now, so hopefully I can test where I want to test by the time I get there. So it's going to be a Japanese core class, which is 4 credit hours, I think an hour and a half each day. And then a bunch of electives. One of them is going to be kanji and vocabulary class, so learning different words and a lot of the, you know, stuff you need to communicate in the language. Then another class is going to be on maybe a JLPT test prep class, which would be kind of cool because you'll study the JLPT in 3 test and basically just study for that for 4 months so that by the time you leave, you'll have an N3 certification. As for other classes, those are kind of up in the air right now. I don't choose until I actually get there which classes I'm going to be taking. So the Japanese core class is basically guaranteed. I'll definitely have those classes. The side classes, however, I'll decide once I get there. Some of the things I've been looking at are Aikido and Kendo, so the art of the sword, and the Japanese martial arts Aikido, which is a focus on using the opponent's force against them, and a combat system that doesn't harm anybody. Kendo is, of course, the art of the sword and learning how to, you know, make strikes and defend and stuff like that. Pretty cool. Then another class is going to actually be on a bunch of different cultural aspects of Japan, so it'll be on stuff like koto, which is the stringed instruments you lay down and you pluck different strings to make the sounds. It's very common in the music that you hear from Japan, the traditional music. There's also, it's going to be a part of shogi, which is Japanese chess, so you'll learn the Japanese chess, and it's actually played by a very large percentage of the population, so it's a great way to learn something that you can play with anybody. You could sit down and just have a game with another Japanese person and really get a cultural aspect from that. And then some other classes, more academic side, is I might take something called Nagasaki Fieldwork, which you'll actually go out into the community and learn about different aspects of the community and write some report on it. And it can be about really any subject that the teacher wants to do. In past, they've done different Buddhist shrines. They've done the field, like the actual agricultural aspect of Nagasaki, children's, education, like anything. It could be anything. You just go on basically field trips to learn about culture from a first-hand experience. And then another one I was interested in was actually peace studies. I think as horrible as the nuclear bomb that hit the area was, I think it's actually would be an amazing thing to learn about peace from an area that was once devastated. I think that they probably have a great story to tell and have some great lessons to share to the world to try to maintain peace and work out non-violent acts to work out problems. Thanks for joining me for this introduction video on what my trip is actually going to be about. Subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this where I'm going to be detailing my trip, what I'm packing, stuff like that. And every Friday, I also post a Japanese progress video where you can follow me from not knowing any Japanese to hopefully fluency by some point in the future. Thanks, and until next time.